Bro, if you need to use me as a tripod, you can.
Alright, hello everyone. Welcome into Wild Arctic. My name is Allie. I'm part of the education and conservation team here at SeaWorld. Now right now, what you are about to witness is some of our guests interacting in a Beluga interaction program. So they're going to be getting in the water and they're going to do a little training session with some of the trainers and these belugas. Now the two whales that are in here are Alua, who is our female at about 38 years of age. Being very talkative. And the other one is Ferdinand. He is about 52 years of age. Now Ferdinand is going to be the one that is closest to us currently. Has a little bit more of a yellow coloration, whereas Alua is the one in the back. Now the water that they are getting into is about 55 degrees Fahrenheit, so it is a little chilly for us. But for these belugas, that is a very perfect temperature. Now, beluga whales are known as the canaries of the sea because they have over 50 different vocalizations, which you've only just heard the very tip of the iceberg for them with these whales. They use those vocalizations to communicate with one another, as well sometimes just to communicate with us or even express their emotions. If they're happy, they might make a sound. Now I do want to just very briefly talk about the safety here in Wild Arctic. Here in this open water area, we want to be very careful with our personal items, and we also want to try and keep at least both of our feet down on the ground, or one of our feet. There we go. We don't want to have our feet up on the railings, as we don't want anybody to accidentally fall and get hurt. Now I'm going to let you guys enjoy your time here and watch this. So if you have any questions, feel free to come on over. I'm on the right side of the front railing. If you have any questions, whether it be about these animals and what they are doing, or anything else here at SeaWorld, again, my name is Allie. I hope you guys enjoy watching this Beluga interaction program. friends just joining the Welcome into Wild Arctic. Right now what you are getting to witness are some guests participating in a beluga interaction program with two of our beluga whales, Alua being the one on the right and Ferdinand, our oldest, on the left. Now here we do just want to keep everybody nice and safe with our feet nice and firmly planted down on the ground. And also keep it a nice walking pace all throughout the area. And if you have any questions, feel free to come over to me. I'm on the right side of the front railing. Otherwise, I'm going to get off the mic so you all can enjoy watching this wonderful beluga interaction program.
We might have 55 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's chilly for us. They are normally out in Argentina, so they stay right like your water's like 60. But there's they said why they huge way, but they yeah, they're the pilot ones. Yes. Yeah, they look very similar. They're very similar, but also like very different.
Well, if you were up there, you'd be knee deep, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, look. We have a few over there. Oh, that might actually been the one we just got off. I think. See, it went like this.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Wild Arctic. My name is Louie. I'm here on behalf of the Education and Conservation team. If you have any questions about the animals here or any other animal around the park, please feel free to come by. I'll be more than happy to help out. As you can see right now, it looks like they're having a little training session with the beluga whales. This is called the Beluga Interaction Program. This is a program that you have the opportunity to sign up for. If there's still availability, you can sign up for that, either today or for a future date. So it just depends upon availability. But yeah, this gets you a little bit closer to some of our animals, gets you more intimate experience one-on-one with some of our animals here at SeaWorld. Not only do we have this type of interaction, we have some with dolphins, we got some sloths, we got penguins that you can go and interact with as well by taking one of our tours. The penguin up-close tour which takes you inside the exhibit with the rest of the penguins. You get to experience how cold it gets inside there, all the different sounds that the penguins make, and even all the different smells that come with it, right? Because it gets a little fishy in there. But if you have any questions about these programs or any animal around the park, feel free to come by. I'll be more than happy to help out. My name is Louie, by the way, so feel free to come by if you have any questions about the beluga whales. But yes, as you can see, they're having a little training session, which is amazing. You're going to notice some of their training techniques that they have. You might notice some. I'll point some out. So the way that the trainers communicate with these animals, they can use different signals. They can use hand signals to communicate with them. That is the best way to interact with them. So they'll have them they'll do a little signal so the beluga whales can see, and then if they do that, what they ask them correctly, we reward them with some type of fish or something that they like. So right now it looks like they might be getting food if they do the behavior correctly. This is called, our training is based on positive reinforcement. And once they do that behavior correctly, you're gonna hear these whistles that they're using. These whistles communicate to the beluga whales. Good job, you did a great job. That's exactly what I was looking for. That's what we were looking for. And basically it tells the beluga whales, you did great, come back and get a reward. And like I said, they can either get fish, they can eat squid, sometimes they give them jello. Jello is something that they can also toss in there. Yeah, like jello, like we eat at home, except with no sugar. It's unflavored. And why that is beneficial to the beluga whales, because jello is actually made up of mostly water, and it hydrates the beluga whales. So these animals don't, even though they live in the ocean, they don't drink the water that they live in. This is true with killer whales, dolphins. They don't drink that water because it's salt water. So they get all their hydration from the food that they're eating. So when we provide them with jello, it actually hydrates the beluga whales. So yes, pretty amazing animals. You might even hear them making some noises. These animals are very social animals, and they communicate in many different ways. They make a lot of different sounds, and this is one of the reasons why these animals are also known as the canaries of the sea. That's their nickname, because they can make different sounds. They can make different sounds. They can chirp, they can whistle, they can squawk, they can make bell-like ringing sounds, a variety of different vocalizations that they can create. So that's how they get that nickname, the canaries of the sea. They are mammals just like you and I, believe it or not. So no, they're not fish, they're actually mammals, and they do have the 5 characteristics of a mammal. Does anybody know any of the 5 characteristics of the mammal, by the way? Yell it out if you know one. You know one? Babies, yeah. They give live birth, so yes, they give live birth. They will never lay eggs. Is that another one? They feed their young, yeah. So they'll nurse their young. They'll nurse their young. They do have milk that they created that they'll nurse their young. We're missing 3 more. Does anybody know the other 3?
They have hair.
They have hair. Yeah, they have hair. That's another mammal characteristic, and you might be wondering, what? What do you mean they have hair? I don't see any hair on the beluga whales. Actually, they did at one point have hair in their life. So they usually lose it right before they're born or a little bit after they're born. They lose that hair, and they would actually have that hair around the rostrum. The rostrum is just that general area around their mouth. And if you look closely at the dolphins, you're going to see pores where their hairs used to actually be. So yes, they did have hair, and scientists believe that they use these hairs to stimulate the mother so they can nurse. So yes, they did have hair at one point in their life. We're missing 2 more. They're not cold-blooded, but they're what?
Warm-blooded.
That's right, they're warm-blooded. So they produce their own body heat. And what allows these animals to stay underwater in that cold environment is they build up a lot of their blubber layers. So they have a lot of blubber underneath their skin that keeps them really, really warm. So yes, they're warm-blooded. We're missing 1 more. I'm trying to figure, I kind of forgot which one we said already, but we are missing 1 more. Does anybody know which one we're missing?
Live birth.
Live birth,
Warm-blooded.
Warm-blooded, hair.
Hair.
Oh, there it is. You got it. Yeah, that's right. These animals breathe air. So they do have to come up and get a breath of air. They can actually stay underwater for a really long time. They can stay underwater for about 10, 12 minutes, but they do have to come up and get a breath of air. These beluga whales are going to be a little bit different than your dolphins or your killer whales. They're a little bit slower swimming than dolphins and killer whales. So they're not looking for fast-moving prey. They're bottom dwellers. They're usually looking for like squid, clams, snails, octopus. That's what they're eating. They're bottom feeders. So they're not as fast as the killer whales, but they are made for movement rather than speed. So these animals have some abilities that killer whales and dolphins don't have. For example, these animals can actually swim backwards, and killer whales and dolphins cannot. They cannot swim backwards. The killer whales and dolphins, they actually have to turn their whole body to go the other way. Also, beluga whales have an unfused neck vertebrae. What does that mean? They can actually look left and right, just like we can look left and right, move our heads back and forth. They can do that too. Killer whales and dolphins cannot, because their vertebrae are fused together. So, like I said, they're made for movement rather than speed, and this is going to be very beneficial for their environment that they live in. They do live in that icy, snowy environment, so if they get stuck underneath ice sheets, glaciers, they can easily move away, turn around, swim backwards if they need to. Another adaptation that they have, obviously, their coloration. The coloration, they're white, right? So that's going to help them blend in with the snow, with the ice, to keep them away from predators. So, does anybody know who their predators might be? Do you know, bud? All the way at the end? Yeah. Yes, that's one. Did you say another one? Yeah, the orcas, the killer whales, that's correct. So they keep away from those by blending in with the snow and the ice. Another one of their predators is going to be the polar bear. So that's a great adaptation that they have. And also, you might notice, they're missing something that most whales have. Well, not most, but some whales have, like our killer whales and dolphins. They're missing something on their back. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, what is it? The dorsal fin. The dorsal fin, they lack that dorsal fin, but if you look closely, you're going to notice that they do have a little ridge along their back. It's called a dorsal ridge. And this actually allows them to swim closer to ice sheets. It gives them an easier access to breathing holes, because they do have to come up and get a breath of air. And they also can use it to break ice sheets to create new breathing holes, so they can get easier access to them as well. So yeah. Pretty amazing animal. Like I said, they can vocalize, they can make lots of different sounds and noises. So once again, if you have any questions about beluga whales or any other animal around the park, feel free to come by. I'll be more than happy to help out. Like I mentioned before, this is the Beluga Interaction Program. This is a program that you can also sign up for. So if you want to get a little bit closer to some of our animals, have a more of an intimate experience, one-on-one experience with our animals, you can sign up for these programs depending on availability. So there's still availability today. You might be able to sign up for one today or maybe another day. Not only do we have beluga interaction programs, but we have dolphin interaction programs where you get in the water with the dolphins. And also, if you don't want to go and put on a wetsuit and don't want to go in the water, there are also some programs where you can have a training session with them outside of the water. Those are called the Beluga Encounter, Dolphin Encounter. But it goes beyond the dolphins and beluga whales. There's programs where you can meet penguins. There's a program where you can meet the sloths, get up close and have a tour with the killer whales. So definitely, I do encourage you to look online on your phone. If you have one right now, you can look to see availability, or go to the front of the park at guest services. They can tell you more information about any of the programs that we have available here at SeaWorld. So once again, if you have any questions, let me know. My name is Louie, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day here at SeaWorld. Yeah, so killer whales are also whales. So whales is just like a overall term
like birds.
Yeah.
So dolphins are just specific. So you got your common dolphin, watermelon dolphin, killer whales, and dolphins. But yeah, these are not part of those. These are actually a part of the I forget what these are. I forget this one, but they're actually part of the
Oh, okay.
I can't invent or money in this.
I think I left my water over there, dude.
Overall,
I hope nobody dropped any fentanyl in it.
don't drink the water, June. Don't drink it. Amazing.